Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay, and today we're talking about FFG have announced that they're going to be doing an exclusive miniature of Darth Vader that's going to be at the Star Wars celebration. Now, before we talk about that, don't like this video, but do subscribe if you're not already, because it really does help. I've got mixed feelings about this because basically, and I'll show you the website so we can have a look. They're announcing it's exclusively at one-of-a-kind Dark Lord Star Wars Legion miniature of Darth Vader. Here's the 3D posy sculpt that you can see right there. And I'm not going to lie, I prefer that sculpt than the original for sure. It's going to be resin instead of the plasticky thing that we've got. People are questioning the base. The base looks a little bit weird, but it's like, I'm the powerful. It's like that. It's like Luke raising up the rocks in it. And apparently I think there might be like the reprints of the 4 upgrade cards, so he's going to get full art upgrades and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it is what it is. They're going to be doing a few other things at the event, at the Star Wars celebration event, but yeah, like, I like the sculpt. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. So just to be 100% clear, this isn't it's a different sculpt, but the rules are the same. Now, I know a lot of people are like, you know, Return of the Jedi Luke or what have you. This isn't that. This isn't like War Machine or anything like that. This is literally just another sculpt that's exclusive. They're doing this as well, I think for Adepticon, for one of the X-Wing ships. And now they've obviously got this alternative sculpt. Now, am I salty? I think the answer is a little bit yes, right? So, I wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't just exclusive to this one event. If maybe it was exclusive to maybe a time period that everybody could order it, or maybe specific events, so I can maybe assist, you know, UK nationals or what have you, like or EU continental or something like that, so that you could at least have a reasonable chance of going there. But this is the 11th to the 15th of April. Like, it's a little bit late even for me to make a last-ditch attempt across the ocean to Chicago to get this. I mean, I wouldn't do this for just this, but you know, it's a little bit late to be announcing it. If you're going to do something like that, you want to be able to have people plan it if they really want that kind of thing. And yeah, I just don't agree with having it so like such. See, it's weird because it's not a different rule set. Everything's the same. In game terms, the only advantage or disadvantage would be to the model on the rocks, which would be interesting if at a hyper-competitive event, if it really did matter. You know, you could be like, oh, my Vader's poking over this barricade, so you're not getting cover. Well, that would be interesting. But really, there's no advantage or disadvantage to the card. The rules are the same. It's just going to be like different art, like a different art style. As I said, though, the slight difference in model, you could argue, might be a difference in power, but no, it's going to be so minor that it's not going to be worth anything. So it's literally just an alternative sculpt. And in theory, like, I sort of put this to, you know, in games, people will talk about pay to win or what's it called, cosmetic DLC. This is just a cosmetic DLC, basically. But the fact that it's so limited is kind of like a little bit frustrating, because I would like to own that. I'm not gonna lie, I would like to own that, but I'm not prepared to fly over to Chicago to try and go to the Star Wars event so I can try and get this miniature. That's ridiculous. I understand they want to do something for the people there. I would suggest maybe having an online release time of that window as well, but maybe you can only order it at that event and you get it in a month's time where they're actually on sale at that event. That's possibly personally how I would do it, and I think that would be reasonably fair, because it's a little bit weird. Like somebody said in the Discord, think about the alt cards that were at Wave 1 and all that kind of you know, at the store kits and stuff like that. You can't get them anymore, and essentially it's just going to be the same as that, except really like regionally specific. Whereas if they did it as a time limit, then it would be like the alt art cards, but at least then everybody would have been able to have got it if they wanted it. It's frustrating because I would like to see this with possibly different rules for Star Wars Legion as a whole. Like, I would maybe like those different versions of different characters, but I don't think we'll get them anytime soon because there's no real need to. but different sculpts of like iconic characters that are on limited sale is, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit frustrating if you're not able to get to it. The fact that it's so limited is actually the thing that makes it so frustrating. Like, I would have been prepared to travel to Europe to get this. Like, I'm a madman when it comes to Legion. You know, when it's your hobby, you're happy to do crazy stuff. I'm not prepared to travel to Chicago in April to try and get this. So I think in one hand it's frustrating. Obviously the people are going to get it. They're going to flex all over you now with this. You know, oh, look at this, I got my flex version. If anybody is going to this and wants to pick it up, I will pay you reasonably handsomely. Like, not over the odds. I'm not a madman. I just said I was a madman. But, you know, I would happily, like, if you managed to get one, I would happily take that and do a deal with you. Just hit me up. But, you know, it's going to be all that. There's going to be like a black market for this, which is a bit sad. So I'm not, it doesn't affect the game. That's one thing I would say. It does not affect the game, apart from the slight height increase. It's just a sad thing that the pose is actually like really quite cool. Vader there, like, instead of he's like, I'm sticking my hand out for no reason, he's like, I will murder you like I should be. You know, you could take the base off that and just put him flat, and I would have been reasonably happy with that as a default model. It's weird because it is an exclusive miniature. They say like it's a Star Wars Legion Celebration exclusive. The only way that you could then sell this like a wide release is to change it somehow, and maybe getting rid of the base and selling it in a couple of months would be the solution. At least that's the solution I would very much like to see personally. So yeah, it's weird. I'm a little bit salty. I'm a little bit salty, I guess is the thing. I think it's okay to do some exclusivity, but generally it has to be, I think, sometimes like alt cards where you win stuff is sort of fine. But I feel like just you get this if you go, you get the chance to buy this at a specific one event in the country is possibly a little bit too harsh. So I mean, it's a little bit of news, but it's not. I don't think this is good news. I think this is a bad direction personally. I understand it doesn't affect too much. The impact isn't too great, but I just feel like this is not a good look for a game. I think like you should generally try and be as fair as possible to as many people as possible, and I feel like this isn't that. It's only the people who are going to go are going to be happy. Which, you know, meh, it is what it is. I just feel like it shouldn't be so exclusive. So let me know your thoughts. If you could get this, would you get it? And if you can't get this, on a scale of 0 to 10, how salty are you? I'm maybe like a 3 or a 4. I realise I sound a bit more salty than that, but maybe like a 3 or a 4. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I just thought I'd make a video about it because I think it's a bad. I think it's a bad look, and I wanted people who said I was a bit harsh on GW back in the day when I was talking about GW a lot more, and I feel like this is a reasonably time for me that, in my opinion, I think it's worth to criticize this as a decision. But I completely understand. Obviously, they want to celebrate the people who are going and that event specifically. But I just think, for me, that's not a direction that I personally would like. It's not how I personally would like that to be released. And I realize it's a personal thing. As I said, I don't lose anything by not being able to get it necessarily. It's just I really want it. I guess it just comes to that. I just really want it. That's all. If anything, it's a good thing that they've made something that I want. But it's a bad thing that I can't get it. So supply and demand and all that kind of jazz. Don't like this video because it doesn't deserve it. Do subscribe though. Have a most beautiful day. Thank you all to my Patreons. I do really appreciate that. Have a beautiful day and goodbye.